It's showing good data. Hey, there we go. We have YouTube back. All right, thanks for hanging in there, everybody. I appreciate you. Just had a weird internet drop. Dropped my Twitch stream, dropped my YouTube stream, but we are back. Probably showing as a new VOD on YouTube, but that's okay. To catch you back up, we gave Beep a crossbow, and I'm going to try shooting at this stranded berserker on the ground, and we're going to watch the dexterity skill and see what happens. I'm trying to do some science and figure out the best way to improve our skills from where we are right now. Hey, good job, Maiko. Beep doesn't really seem to be able to target. That's weird. I'm sure that's just a bug. Man, it's one of those days where nothing we're trying is really working. If I take the bow off, can Beep suddenly target? Yes. I wonder why Beep wasn't able to use the bow. It does have a required skill, but I believe that's just required to use it effectively. Bolts regulars. And we have regulars. Am I attacking or defending this castle? This is my base right here. So we are defending it. Welcome in. We're doing some science to try to understand the mechanics of this game. Remember doing something like that in Minecraft? This can be a fun game if you like building. I'm curious what happens if I tell Beep to attack. This should be Hungry Bandits, yeah. Attack Hungry Bandits. Using the crossbow. Okay, there we go. Beep took a shot. That's a pretty good amount of dexterity for every shot. Now I wonder how it compares. Yeah, it looks like using the guardless katana. He gains a lot of skill from fighting these large groups. You know what? I bet the Shrieking Forest would be good for this. It seemed like there were so many enemies in the Shrieking Forest that they just constantly spawn. I bet you could really do some good farming in there for dexterity. That sounded like a beak thing. That is a beak thing. Why is Beep shooting the beak thing? All right, so that actually was a great benefit to dexterity. So it looks like the best way that we found to farm dexterity so far is a very light weapon and a large group of enemies. So it might make sense to take a group of our people and have them go fight large hungry bandit groups with light weapons. Bunny, thank you for lurking. I hope you're doing well. Also, the benefits of the lighter armor maybe should not be understated in terms of successful frequency of blocking attacks and things like that. So let's go try to raise some dexterity. I think it's only going to help us in the future. Photo has plenty of dexterity. This is Wing Wing. So once again, let's look. Who has the lowest dexterity? I think it's so Beanhop here has 37. Seto has 36. So that's going to be our mark for dexterity growth, is we're going to look at Seto and see how quickly Seto improves. If we want to fight a lot of hungry bandits, I think the place is Skinner's Roam. Where'd you spread out right now? All right, now just to look for large groups moving in the distance. There's one. Could be hungry bandits, could be dust bandits, either way. Okay, I think that was a 1% gain, and I also think we just slaughtered some escaped holy servants. Oh, Beep still has a crossbow. I forgot about that. That's okay. Fight that Holy Nation camp. It's Paladins and Holy Sentinels. Let's see what's up. I forgot we didn't give some of them weapons because we were only planning to fight hungry bandits. I will say the fast weapons and attacks seem to be working. That may be a benefit to consider, although the more we raise our dexterity, the faster we'll be with any class of weapon. Okay, let's find more hungry bandits. Because it would seem that it's the volume of attacks that's important to raising these skills, not necessarily the damage dealt. Which, you know, also makes an argument for lighter armors. We need to come up with some kind of chat game or something to help us pass the time while grinding for stats. Where's all my hungry bandits at? You start the game, they're everywhere, beating you up, taking your money, and then when you want to find some for trading fodder, where do they go? Now that I've played for a while, do I have any hopes for Kenshi 2? Yeah, I think generally more stable. I want to see more, like, deeper faction possibilities explored. Like building your faction more deeply and richer politics and things like that. Probably slightly more complex logic systems. So tasking, crafting, prioritizing, setting more custom controls. And that's aside from the stuff that they're already good at, that of course we want more of, like more awesome story, more awesome combat, more awesome characters and creatures. I feel like that's a given a little bit. Howdy, Gold. What's up? Hope you're doing well. Most of us just want Kenshi, but more. Yeah, pretty much. Everything is great with you. It's going pretty well. Thank you for asking. Imagine if we actually cleared the world of hungry bandits. I don't think that's what's happened here, to be clear, but it's a funny thought. Okay, they're gonna let us go. We're not gonna attack them. Here we go. I wonder if you need to, like, leave an area and return. No, probably not, because we've seen plenty of times when enemies have continued spawning while we're within an area. How far is it to the Shrieking Forest? I think it's a ways. Even Mongrel could be pretty good training, I bet. Yeah, just making sure we brought our food with us, which indeed we did. Everybody caught up? Yeah. Might have to go this way. Who's fighting who down here? Ah, Dust Bandits and Shack. Okay. Looks like the Shack cleaned up pretty well. Pretty cool how quickly you can move through the map when you're confident enough to go at full speed. Ooh, I bet there's some cannibals this way too. The cannibals should be really good training. Lots of ninjas, we're cool with them. All right, now what we don't necessarily want to do is get so drawn into the fog islands that our characters like want to run in and entrench themselves in a fight, maybe. I feel like the Shrieking Forest might be preferable just because stakes are a little lower. Also, the spawn rate is very high in the Shrieking Forest. Just gotta remember where exactly it is. No, it's somewhere here, like to the side of Mongrel. Might be kind of this way. Hey, Scanlan, I'm doing pretty well. I hope you're all right. Just playing some Kenshi today. Oh, and we have our first Fogmen after us. Looks like it. Cleared them. Leveled up to level 4 on Oblivion today. Very cool. Glad you're enjoying Oblivion. Shrieking Forest is sort of this way. Might be up more through here. That's a hive village. That green glow looks familiar. Michael, thank you for grabbing another dream. Now up to 102. A few crashes in the game, but you're still playing it. Yeah, that's a Bethesda game for you. All right, yep, this is Drag. We should be getting close to our destination. And hopefully this can supply us with the level and quality of enemy that we are looking for to do our training. Is that them? Shrieking Bandits. Thanks for the chill wartime vibes, of course. Alright, health-wise, looking good. Seto, how are you on dexterity? Okay, so no matter what we do, it's gonna take a minute, it seems. Ah, that's the Shrieking Forest proper. If I just click over there, can y'all figure it out? Yes. I think Beep has gained more dexterity levels than, like, Seto has. You know, it might be a compounding effect thing where as you have gear that gives you higher dexterity, you swing more frequently, so you build up more dexterity XP. Here we go. Oh yeah, of course, Scanlan, I appreciate that. Don't want any spoilers, but just telling us what level you are, nothing wrong with that. Okay, so the two that we sent into battle without weapons, they are unconscious. So there's probably a correlation there. Everybody else is looking pretty good. Ooh, even Beep is unconscious. Unexpected. Now, that was quite the number of enemies. Tapster, what's up? Good to see you. Frankie was here. Welcome in, Raiders. Good to have you all. I don't know why that was so loud, but we appreciate having you here. Frankie, welcome in. It's been a minute. I still have not been able to catch up with your streams because I'm not watching any other streams. But, oh no, you died in your run today. The smiley face makes me feel like that might have been planned or at least prepared for. But welcome on in. Please feel free to tell us a little bit about it. For the Raiders, I am a first-time Kenshi player doing a blind playthrough. We are about 215 hours into my first blind playthrough, and we've been all over the place. I'm currently experimenting with tactics to farm dexterity the best way. But, you know, of course, I don't know any skips or exploits or anything like that. So we're trying different combat tactics to raise our dexterity and just give us a little bit of boost against the Holy Nation and such. But that's a little bit about me. I stream Kenshi and I turn my Kenshi videos into videos on YouTube. I also play other games, so a variety of things. We stream on both Twitch and YouTube. I'm live on both platforms. And yeah, I tend to like single-player games, a lot of story-based games, sometimes some challenge or strategy-based games like this one. Kenshi has been a big part of my life for the past 6 months. Played a Star Wars mod. Not liking the pole arm changes. Fought the final boss. Decided to let your character just get back up after each KO and not heal. And the final boss was so OP, he just killed poor Blue. Oh no. Well, you know, that's one more experience under your belt. Got tilted because they nerfed your favorite weapon class. Yeah, when you're playing with mods that change the base game, you know, any of that stuff can definitely happen. As for us, we've decided that the way we want to try raising dexterity is equipping some guardless katanas and charging headfirst into Shrieking Bandit territory. Because for my limited testing so far, it seems like the quantity of swings with a light weapon is the highest indicator of dexterity experience gain. I'm not 100% confident in that, but that's the theory I've formulated that I have to roll with. So yeah, we're in the thick of it right now. And the Shrieking Bandits, they honestly do more damage than I expected. I know they've got slightly higher stats. I'm not commenting on that theory except to say it's pretty good. I gotcha. My first thought was maybe we wanted to fight the Fogmen, but I kind of feel like the Shrieking Bandits are lower stakes if we get ahead of ourselves a little bit and find ourselves overwhelmed. Part of the reason we're doing this is we are in the middle of the storyline to defeat the Holy Nation, and the last one that we have left is Blister Hill and the Holy Phoenix, which we accidentally attacked before I knew the Holy Phoenix was there. That turned into about a 4-hour battle with no winner. We got everybody out of there, nobody died, but we didn't win either. So I'm looking at identifying the weaknesses in our group, and it seems like higher dexterity leading to faster attack and block times may give us more of an edge. We've got pretty good strength across the board and decent toughness, so I feel like dexterity is maybe going to help us bridge that gap. Weaknesses, so you have Sheks. We do indeed have Sheks. And poor Beep is just being beaten up. Prefer Scorchies, so you just poke fun at Sheks. We've got a pretty good spread here, honestly. You can definitely tell which of my characters are the high-level ones. Because we have some characters, they go down, they pass out all the time. And then you have some that almost are healing the damage as fast as they're taking it. Beep getting hit in his chest, no one is surprised. We have 3/4 of Cyber Beep. Beep only has an organic right arm left. Can we get a tour of the base? You know, Mendez, it's been probably the same since the last you saw it. I've not really been working on my base. We have our turrets, of course. Got a big old base here running on green energy. We have windmills, we have hemp production, we have batteries and cactus and all sorts of stuff. And we have a master swordsmith and a master armorsmith, and we're working towards master robotics. Zim has 84. So yeah, this is just how we supply our combat squad, basically. Right arm, no surprises again. Shem is a wonderful location. It's really been great to us. It's been really good having a manufacturing base that supports our combat squad, so to speak. Oh, you know what I forgot to take into account was... Yeah, okay. So we've been judging progress off of Seto's dexterity growth, but I forgot that Shek have a dexterity debuff, while Beep has a dexterity XP buff, and that's why he's gaining levels so quickly, relatively. It looks like our skeletons, they're pretty neutral. So some are going to be better than others. We know that. But the goal here is to rise the tide to lift all boats. Need those boats because Shex can't swim good. I wonder if at any point the game says, nope, that's enough bodies in one location and stops spawning. I suppose it's more likely it despawns dead bodies at that point. Dexterity is bows. Bows do increase dexterity. I did a little testing with that. It seems like they gain progress faster with the guardless katanas than they do with the crossbows. But say we had somewhere we could sit up on a wall and just shoot at things that passed by, we probably could gain fairly safe dexterity. Like if we look at Ice has a base 66 dexterity just from being an archer for so long. It was blow for XP. Now, we do have to be careful we don't run into the situation we experienced with the broken machines, where we had to abandon them because they got bogged down in this area by fights and wouldn't leave. Using splint kits, you would not believe how rarely people actually use those. It's one of the most important things in my loadout. Peep is down for the count again. Dude's got a couple points of toughness training. Gotta go eat. Good luck, dexterity training. Thank you, Frankie. Thank you for the raid and the support and everything else, y'all. If you're here on Twitch or YouTube, either one, and you don't know Frankie, go check him out on either platform. I hear he's got some legendary streams and some of the best Kenshi guides in the game. So we appreciate Frankie and all his support over here. Hey, right back at you. All right. I feel like, well, we have a moment that we're ahead of the... I mean, honestly, Burn and Truth, they could stand here and train all day. I don't know what it is about the skeletons that makes them... They just seem to be superior in a fight all the time. Take a look at their HP compared to organics. Yeah, so the HP is a big difference. But I guess what I'm saying is if we look at their stats compared to some of my other characters' stats, the skeletons tend to not even take hits. They seem to, on average, be better at attacking, blocking, and dodging at the same level of stat, and I haven't figured out why that is. It could be there's a bias thing here where they're equipped with less equipment that would keep them from successfully doing those things. I'm not sure if that plays into it. I haven't quite figured out the puzzle yet, but I've noticed time and again that unless there's AoE attacks in the mix, my two skeletons seem to always be best at avoiding damage. Oh, you know what else it could be? Maybe it's the lack of cut damage piling up that makes you not notice it. Could be that. It could also be the skeleton's ability to mend small damage much more quickly than you can patch damage on an organic. So notice Truth took a little bit of damage here. When the fighting stops, I bet Truth does repair on himself, and because it's basically chip damage, I bet his limbs go back up to basically full quality. Yeah, okay, yeah. Then we are on the same page about that. Because if I just scan after the fight, I'm going to think that Truth didn't take any damage when Truth did, but was able to repair the little outlying damage much better. And Willow was saying the same thing on YouTube, too. Onto something with armor differences as well. Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, since these guys have been heavy weapons users, I have wanted to outfit them in, like, medium heavy armor when fighting the Holy Nation. I'm wondering if it's more advantageous to... we have lighter armor being made. We've got a whole bunch of dust coats, like specialist and masterwork grade dust coats just sitting here. So it might be worth experimenting with that for the dexterity bonuses and such. They say that getting hits in is in my current strategy for getting dexterity up. Yes. Got to remind yourself to be coy about some stuff per my tags. Thank you. Yeah, so obviously I know more than I did 200 hours ago, but I am still trying to play this game through just experimentation and what the game tells me. So not really taking outside advice. I'm not using guides or wikis or anything like that. So there's probably really blatant standard practices that I'm missing that I'm not taking advantage of because I'm intentionally just trying to see what I can draw out of the game on a first playthrough. Do I know the stat for getting hits through? I know we've got attack and dexterity that influences it, as well as the base, whatever weapon they're using. That's all I'm aware of. It looks like we've actually gained a decent amount of attack skills from this katana thing. I definitely don't think we had attack in the mid to high 60s before we started. Wear a ton of gear that lowers both of that. Yeah. Yep. I am aware of that, and that's where I'm talking about, you know, maybe stepping down the armor class a little bit and taking advantage of the stat bonuses over just pure protection. I think what we've done here, though, has actually been successful in raising the floor no matter what we do. I would like to see... Attack. Fighting with swords using special training equipment. Now, we do get the XP debuff. Penalty when fighting opponents weaker than you. So we are fighting opponents weaker than us. I'm more confused about the non-armor piece of equipment. Are you talking about the sandals? Because if you're talking about the sandals, I'm wearing them for the combat speed bonus. I figure that 5% combat speed buff is maybe worthwhile for heavy weapons users. Might give us the edge. So it looks like the enemy spawn has slowed down some. Nope, not clothing. Oh, the backpacks? The backpacks are just because we go on long expeditions. Food, supplies. I carry enough spare limbs for any foreseeable situation. bedrolls. We could probably slim it down, being that we're in a war-focused mode right now, but I do have plans to still... I've explored almost the entire map. I have plans to get stronger through fighting the Holy Nation, and then go to the Ashlands. Have I looked into animals yet? Yes. I've had pack animals a couple of times. I've never really had them as part of my, like, war party. And mostly we've been pretty reliant on carrying stuff on our backs. Right now I'm at full capacity. I have 30 members. Attack debuff on them is atrocious. I believe it's -5. Yeah, -5. Although it's also a combat speed debuff. The -5 is not so terrible when I'm in the 50s and 60s. It's definitely bad when you're starting off and you only have like 10. And then these are also -5 for the mediums. And -5 for the traders ones as well. So yeah, I could see ditching some of these so we do get a combat speed buff. For instance, Beep, we've kept Beep being basically a pure warrior, no backpack or anything, and only light armor, and his attack speed is very high. Same on Roof, you've played too many mods, that's okay. But, you know, there's a lot of variables here, so I'm enjoying just kind of playing around and seeing how we can affect things in the game. What kind of weapons are they rocking? Looks like mostly cleavers, so not anything that's going to be useful for what we're doing. Usually pack animals if you're doing trade runs or treasure hunting, but other than that, they stay in the paddock. Yeah, so that seems like a very valid way to play. You know, kind of a key element of this playthrough is this is literally my distilled playstyle that I'm developing as I'm interfacing with the game. I have no bias from the way anybody else plays. So sometimes someone will come in here and be like, oh, you're doing this thing really weirdly. And I'm like, well, it's because that's just the way that I've developed to play the game with no other input. As I have more playthroughs and stuff, I'm sure I'll pick up on more of what are the more efficient ways to play. What is Seto? Oh, Seto's unconscious. Okay. I think I want to go back. We're moving at a decent pace. I think I want to go back and do some more science. I want to see how that attack stat gets built. We might be able to do it on the way if we see a group of hungry bandits or something. But I'll put everybody on passive except the one doing the attacking. But I want to see... I might have been undervaluing the bonus to the attack stat that we get from doing this. A lot of people tend to look stuff up or follow community trends, so they fall into what is considered the usual play style. Completely blind players are a strange concept for most. Yeah, I totally get that, but that's exactly the type of playthrough I wanted to have for my first experience with the game. I'm sure it's a little bit like Convergent Evolution, where I will do some things that the aggregate majority also does, because that happens to be the most efficient way of doing things. Smashing the meta. I've developed my own meta already. As a fellow narcoleptic streamer to Frankie, I have determined that the nap meta is perhaps one of the most powerful things in the game, and that's why I carry bedrolls. I have gotten myself out of several overwhelming losing fights with strategic naps. I'd like to see my dexterity floor raised to like 45 or 50 on the low end. I feel like even that buff would be pretty decent compared to what we were. I didn't want to go this far into the Fog Islands. All right, we've got a bunch of new people over on Twitch who are not subscribed, and we've got a 3-minute ad break. So I'm going to go ahead and take this time to use the restroom because I could do that anyway. And I'll be back in just a moment, so thanks for sticking around, everybody. If you came over with the raid, I appreciate you checking out the channel. I'll see you in a minute. All right, thanks for hanging out, everybody. And we continue. Honestly, we heal up so fast, we might be in a better position before we even get back to our base. Hey, Slippery Eel. Hello on Twitch. I'm glad that people feel free to jump platforms as suits them. You know, we may have gained attack because we were fighting the Shrieking Bandits who are a higher level than the Hungry Bandits. You prefer Twitch as the stream viewing platform? I find a lot of people do. You always have YouTube open, so I see you over there too. Well, I appreciate it. I do feel like Twitch tends to be the preferred stream platform for a lot of people, at least a lot of people who like to engage in chat and everything like that. I feel like I probably have a higher ratio of people on YouTube streams who never chat or interact, and that's 100% okay. But I just feel like the people who do value the engagement and the social aspect of it, a lot more of them end up over on Twitch. We got a fogman chasing us. We did. Oh. Do they knock ice out? And Wing Wing? Oh, how they managed that. First time we traveled through this area, it did not go so well. I think that YouTube lacks the culture of engagement. Like when you simul-stream, oftentimes the streamers tend to pay closer attention to the Twitch stream than the YouTube one. Simul-streams have become more common now, so there's been a rise of interactivity for YouTube, but it's still pretty low comparatively. Yeah, I think there definitely is a more emphasis on Twitch, and some of that is Twitch's own fault. Per Twitch TOS, you're not allowed to show YouTube chat on stream or anything that is on another site that you can't interact with from Twitch. You're not technically allowed to put on stream. And I feel like that leads a lot of people to emphasize their community on Twitch, which already has more of the engagement features. Hey, Agent Goblin, welcome in. You prefer Twitch as good background radio? I think about that often, how leaving a stream on is very much like how people used to leave the radio on all day while they work or something. I think when you think about it like that, it's really nothing all that new. It's just the subject matter and style of presentation has changed. Twitch has heavy incentives for interactivity as well. You said with the engagement features like the points, redeem, subscription alerts, and TTS type stuff. Yeah, some of that you can set up on YouTube side, but not as well. Same logic as TV, really, right? I think the difference is that you're able to get so much closer to the vast majority of streamers than you are the person you listen to on the radio or the TV. Now, you know, if you're like Asmongold or I don't know many big streamers, Ludwig or something, then you're not really going to get to talk to them. But a lot of streamers, if you hang out in their chat, you get a little bit of the interaction going both ways. Go to Twitch for the live experience, go to YouTube to watch the reruns and VODs. That's pretty much how I prioritize my stream, in a way. Ezra, you're usually on YouTube for background noise. Don't seek out streaming content specifically, so you're not used to engaging with the content. And yeah, I think that is something that's really important, is Twitch can introduce you to people who watch Twitch. You're going to find people on Twitch who watch Twitch a lot. On YouTube, you may be introduced to somebody who watches one stream a month, but they're really into the niche thing that you cover. So you have an opportunity to reach new and different types of audiences on YouTube that are harder to reach on Twitch. Tapster, you changed your YouTube name so you won't dox yourself. Congratulations. Internet Safety 101. You pass. Like being able to interact with the chat and the streamer. Huge communities. The chat is going by so fast you may as well be watching a VOD. Yeah, and so a lot of those, like Northern Lion is a big streamer that I enjoy his streams. but I get 99% the same out of watching one of his VODs or one of his edited videos that, you know, he has an editor that chops down his streams into videos. I get almost the exact same thing out of that I get out of watching his stream. So it's just not a priority for me to catch those streams. I'll just catch the highlights on YouTube usually. Hey, Tapster on YouTube. Trying to get a VOD for a streamer through Twitch can at times be more confusing than finding the VOD on YouTube. Yes, I still have people watching my Kenshi Day 1 VOD on YouTube. That's not even a possibility on Twitch. Not that anybody hardly ever does watch Twitch VODs, but it's not even possible. Willow, not on Twitch anymore because F Amazon, and that's fair. And I will absolutely be happy to provide both platforms to people. Ooh, we got a Holy Nation fight going on. Okay. Something to really cut our teeth on. We've actually got an Inquisitor. So I'm going to slow this down because that Inquisitor could be bad news for us. Although... we get to test the theory of the lighter, faster weapons. But I think... yeah, I mean, look at how little damage we're doing to the Inquisitor. That's an issue with these katanas. What I should do... Truth is an experienced heavy weapons user. Truth, I want you to grab this weapon. This Paladin's Cross. And use it against this Inquisitor. Yeah, that's better damage output. This is going to be a long fight, but I think we can turn it around. Kian, welcome in. Good to have you. In fact, we've got a couple experienced heavy weapon users here. That's going to be the thing to do. Negative armor penetration versus positive, exactly. With the katanas, I'm getting the bonus damage versus humans, but I am lacking the armor penetration. I wasn't really geared up to fight an Inquisitor. That's not who I was going out to fight. So, you know, even though these weapons do less damage, with the armor penetration, we can pick them up and make use of them just to get rid of the Inquisitor. And the bonus benefit of that is when these paladins get back up, they're not going to have a weapon to fight us with. We can also strip them of their other stuff for fun and profit. And by profit, I mean I'm not going to take the time to sell it. This was actually a pretty tough group we just stumbled across. High Paladin, Inquisitors. More than I expected for an area that the Shek ostensibly control at this time. Question is, does damage magnitude affect experience gain rates? So I don't want anybody to answer that because that's a little too meta knowledge, but that's part of what I'm trying to ascertain. It seems like for dexterity and maybe strength, it's about the weight of the weapon and the number of swings or hits. When it comes to attack and defense and all that, I don't have a good even guess for the different factors. This fight definitely shows why armor and understanding armor types is important. Where is Truth going? Attacking enemies who... Truth saw these guys all the way over here, and he said, you know what? I want some of that Hungry Bandit action. I just want to make sure we're not leaving anybody behind. Yeah. Because that's exactly how somebody gets picked up and sent to Rebirth. Not that we haven't already wiped out Rebirth and could do it again if we needed to, but it would be a bit of a hassle. Wasn't on my to-do list. Somehow they all... Oh, I know. They didn't all get up at once. Some of them played dead. That's what happened. Here's my old base, by the way. Yeah, I used to be based in the Holy Nation. I spent about the first 50 or 60 hours of stream there. They actually saved my life once, completely saved the run. And how did we repay them? By deciding that they needed to be wiped off the face of the planet. They should have seen it coming, honestly. Oh, man, I love to see our bounty just ticking up and up. Wait a second. Truth is wanted for burglary, theft, assault, terrorism, looting, escaping prison. Wait, what makes a terrorism charge? That feels like a trumped up charge. Nobody else has got a terrorism charge. Oh no, Rain the Giant has one. Maybe it's when they end up attacking civilians, like the doctors. Currently disassembling the Holy Nation yourself with just 3 hivers. That sounds fun. Random thought, hope Kenshi 2 makes the world use the survival mechanics too. Imagine a world where you literally starve out Blister Hill by taking out the farms. Yes. That would be awesome. I don't know if that is like too deep system thinking to be implemented successfully, but I would love to see it. You know, I saw something the other day that made me think, can you imagine if this game used like censored newspeak? So can you imagine if you're like, yeah, I went to Rebirth and I unalived and disassembled some forced employers. It's like, man, why do we have to be like that these days? I can't be the only one who's so tired of the censorship of, like, self-censorship, shall I add, of everyday words. I'm tired of coming across things where they censor words like dead, killed, shot, you know, gun. I don't get it anymore. And I think what's even worse is it's not people reacting to, like, actual censorship, but a perceived fear of it. I know on YouTube I've made videos about, like, war and assassinations and chemical weapons and human experimentation and all that stuff. I have never been punished or shadow banned or demonetized for any of it. I don't know what TikTok's doing. I can't tell you, all you TikTok people. I'm technically on there, but I pay zero attention to it. But every other platform, it's just too many words of the English language that exist for a reason that people are afraid to use now. Maybe that's a boomer take. I don't know. You tell me. Terrorism charge comes up when you try freeing slaves. Includes yourself. So if you break out of your own shackles, it counts as terrorism. I'm gonna. Please don't make this like real world politically charged, but is that not the Kenshi equivalent of being arrested for resisting arrest? You agree? You hate it? I'm glad that it's not just me. You saw a meme the other day that was a Tumblr post with the word crime self-censored. Wow. I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, it's literally like newspeak where all bad thought words are to be avoided. Again, not to sound like a boomer, but I really worry what we're doing to ourselves with that level of, you know, not even like just trying to avoid bad thoughts and negative energy. Imagine fighting for your rights and Holy Nation is like, what is that? What is that? And starts running at you like Shane from The Walking Dead. It's disappointing and you did not screenshot it. Good. Do not propagate memes that uphold that level of needless self-censorship. Stop rewarding it. And I've seen this thing too where they say the word, but then in the caption they change it. So, like, they say the word killed, and then they caption the word defeated instead. Hey, Space Monkey, welcome in. Hope your day's going well. Unlocking any slave shackles will get you charged with terrorism. If you are enslaved and unlock your own shackles, it still counts. This reads like a Sims patch note. Can you imagine? It's just like you load up the Kenshi patch notes one day and it's like unlocking your own shackles will no longer get you charged with terrorism. Whoa, where is Wing Wang going? I forget it's border zone pathing. I should expect total chaos. There's a lot of random folk wisdom around YouTube and Twitch TOS, which is where those unalive and in a video game memes come from. The in a video game thing is a little more like legal. I've seen some more nefarious uses of that. But yeah, a lot of the what you talk about, the random folk wisdom, is literally superstition. And I think drastically restructuring the nature of our language for superstition of censorship that doesn't even yet exist, it doesn't sit right with me. Only quitters and weaklings run. We're right here. I'm standing right here. Looks like you lost this game of chicken. Just say kill, like, come on. Yeah, if you all ever catch me unironically using words like unalive, pew pew, self-delete, anything like that, all I'll say is you better hope I'm getting a big bag for that, like life-changing money, because that is the only way I could see myself accepting that level of degradation of the language. Pew pew is fine. You still make that noise when you shoot guns. That's totally fine if you're not doing it because you're afraid of the word gun. Now, the caveat to this, there are words that I understand may be avoided in trauma-informed cases to avoid, you know, difficult topics for people who are victims. I totally get that. That's a different thing. We're not talking about that. I understand there are times to moderate your words, you know, for context-specific uses. But the fact that people report the news and they say someone was shot and they censor the word shot with an asterisk because they're afraid of a censorship algorithm that doesn't even yet exist, we've gone too far. You know, this is one of those awesome streams where I sometimes forget what I'm doing in the game because the conversation and everything with chat is just flowing in such a way. Time flies by. I'm having a great time. I'm smiling. I hope you all are smiling, getting a little laugh out of what's going on. It's just a good vibe Saturday night. Walking and talking with the homies on your way to the supermarket. Basically, we're just going back to rest up, and then I've got a couple more things I want to test out stat-wise with Beep. You know, I don't know why this is just occurring to me. I'm probably at the point, I don't know how much this gets into exploits and such, but I'm probably at the point if I wanted to rapidly train, say, dexterity, I could crank the population and squad size multiplier and get, like, large groups of hungry bandits and such. That might be something to experiment with. I don't know how long that stuff takes to take effect. I don't know if it can be changed back once it's changed, or if you have to restart the game to get it to take effect. I don't know any of that. Ooh, beak thing. Beak things. Synchronized beak thing killing. You love to see it. Yeah, you have wares for us. It's gonna be like 5 building material and some hemp and a bunch of shoddy limbs. Not interested. Don't you love the queen? No hives, won't you buy her wares? Listen, I have met your queen, and all she did was stand there and shriek. So, you know, maybe we don't love your queen. I see we had more Band of Bones come by and visit. You know, I don't know why I never noticed that the beak things have hooves. It's little design details in this game. All right, who needs a rest? Oh, Ice decided that Ice needed food more than a rest. Yeah, see, half of our group is fully healed up just from traveling. Skeleton repair beds are pretty great. Oh, look, Beep is almost to 60 attack. So now let's see what happens if we unequip the crossbow. I would like to see how Beep's attack stat scales with different level enemies. Today has been a combat science day. Oh, there's a beak thing. Okay, that should be a good start. Have I ever played Dwarf Fortress? I have not, but it's on my list. I want to play it the exact same way I played Kenshi. So I'm not going to watch any gameplay. I'm not going to use any guides. Not going to let chat help me. We'll definitely get to it. I already own it. All right, so that was actually quite terrible. Beep gained about 2% melee attack from doing that. Let's see if we can find a hungry bandit squad. So, Aqua, welcome in. Good to see you. Okay, that's nomads. Dwarf Fortress is kind of like Kenshi if Kenshi did less graphics and more in-depth game mechanics. Oh, that's a big group of beak things. The Dwarf Fortress does its best to force you to play the way you played Kenshi. Got a camp here. Nomads. Usually there's hungry bandits all over this place. Dust bandits, they'll do. So 1% and 0%. Turned into, 5% and 4%. We might be onto something here with attacking the large numbers. I think Beep can take on this Dust Bandit group on his own. Not bad, Beep. What a unit Beep is, indeed. Some of these Gray Flayers are high level, huh? All right, so now 19% and 20%. So it actually looks like attack and dexterity, at least in this limited sample size, scale at a similar speed. We should find a hungry bandit group and confirm. It's Beak Thing party day out here. Oh, I missed a couple YouTube comments. I gotta have a way to make them stand out. So that sometimes when I have a lot coming through and only one or two are YouTube and they're on the same panel, I seem to miss the YouTube ones. Willow, you feel that? Heard a song the other day where the singer says she wants to end her life, just like says it bluntly, found it refreshing. Yeah, I understand how people in certain situations would avoid that type of language. But again, the ability to convey thoughts with language, I find is super important. Hey, Beef, what's up? We're eating dinner and just hanging out with you. Hey, I hope you have a good dinner. Thanks for stopping by. Always good to see you. This is where a hot take, self-censoring doesn't bother you at all. Language is an evolving tool. As long as you understand what they were saying, language is doing its job. I definitely understand that argument, but I guess I would counter by saying that with our language, we have a spectrum of words, and if we dilute the sensitivity to certain words, we end up with a smaller spectrum of acceptable words from which to choose. And it just ends up weakening our overall choice of command of the language in full flexibility, in my opinion. It does drift over time, of course, and what's considered acceptable at one point will change over time, and that's natural and unavoidable. I just think we should be cautious about the aggressiveness with which we pursue that. Oh, Beep's leg is a little injured. Let's see if we can find a hungry bandit group. A lot of Beak things out there, I know. The thing is, it seems like they're actually not all that great for training compared to a group of weaker enemies, if I'm reading these stat gains correctly. Who are you? Band of Bones. Wonder if they'll want to tussle. Oh, we got Dust Bandits. Okay. Yeah, beep. %, 28%. Okay. So the quality of enemy actually does seem to influence the melee attack. Beef is a master samurai. I don't know about master yet, but he's definitely getting there. Welcome on in. We've got some tough enemies to fight before anybody can be called a master, I think. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Follows are anonymous, so feel free to say hello or simply hang out, however you want to enjoy stream. Game is brutal to learn on your own. It is, but it's also very rewarding. Now to determine which is fast, safe, easy, quality, or quantity of enemies. Indeed. 31 to 34. So it seems like on Beak things, our attack and dexterity go up at proportionate levels. The Band of Bones, our dexterity raises faster than attack. Usually if I go out by Venge, there's Hungry Bandits. Or Dust Bandits or something. What are you? Dust Bandits. Oh, and Beep goes unconscious. And Beep gets back up. Beep arises. Beep takes a short rest while we look over Beep's stats and find out what we learned. Beep also runs like 41 miles an hour. I would love this to be a more effective form of training than it currently is. But I have like a 17-person crew. It looks like if we keep doing this, I'll be here for days to get like a 3 to 5 point increase for everybody across the board. Send Gecko out and see what's up at a... Or there's somebody at a slightly lower who's not a Shek. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be Gecko. What's Sim complaining about? Doesn't have space to pick up a motor. Okay, so how about you put your iron plates in here? Ah, I see what's going on. Well, that was a little wasted productivity. Zim could have been becoming a better crafter in that time. All right, Gecko, let's see how your progress looks if we send you out to fight a group. Gecko is 27 miles an hour, which is not as fast. What are we looking at? 63 with 94%. And 49 with 36%. Nomads. Polish Spaniard, what's up? Good to have you. Once again, a decent amount of attack XP. But that's if you have one person fighting a whole squad. I just don't know what we're going to do to make that more efficient for everybody. And maybe that's the limitation of the playstyle that we've chosen of having so many people in the group is the XP spread sort of has us plateauing at maybe a lower level than would be expected of a solo or small squad. But all that said, we've done some good science today. I think tomorrow we do some more experimentations, but a little more like combat goal focused. Tapster, thank you very much. Have a good night, Tapster. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. We got one to Ancient Gamer, Millsy, Fourth Survivor, Juno Mojo, and Gweensy, a bunch of good friends of the channel in there. So really appreciate you doing that, Taps. Thanks for all the support. I was saying that we should be wrapping up, so I hate to take your hype and just like throw it into the ground, but good time to be wrapping up for the day. Swag Mode, welcome in. We are just closing out. Oh, you knew I was. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Call this for science. Hey, anybody who has joined the channel today, I'd like you to know that I am... Let's pause this. I am active on YouTube as well. And if you would like to see the process of the game from the very beginning going in blind, you can catch it, including edited videos, over on my YouTube. Just got here. Show your base. Okay. We can show the base. Like Cooper CS. Don't know who that is, but if it's a Counter-Strike thing... I've never played or watched Counter-Strike. Yeah, so this is the base. It's pretty large. We have a large wall situation going on in here. He's bald. Yeah, that tends to happen. Your base is insane. Thank you. We operate on green energy here. We have windmills and we have lots of hemp. The hemp, of course, is for medicinal purposes and cotton fabric, but we also refine it into hashish when we need money. We've got a robotics squad going on. We've got a master swordsmith and armorsmith. Can you smoke? I don't think you can actually use the drugs. Maybe you can. Where do I sell the hashish? I go into town. Usually I go into Flats Lagoon, because they are not, they don't really have any guards that check for narcotics, but they still buy it at the marked up prices. So you can run a pretty good trade running hashish into tech hunter territories like Flats Lagoon. Can only smoke it with mods, sadly. This is goated info. Well, if you're new to Kenshi, I hope I have convinced you to play it, and never mind the failures I encountered along the way, or you too will encounter. But yeah, this is a great game. Really love it. Have 220 hours on this one playthrough. How do you know this? You just learn it over time. You spend the equivalent of like 6 real-life work weeks in one playthrough of this game, then you'll find some stuff out. You just sneak into buildings and get beat to death every playthrough. The trick is being beat 90% to death. You gotta leave out that last 10%. If you die, it's no good. But if you get beat almost to death, like you see the light of the gates in front of you, but you manage to turn away at the last moment, that's the shit that makes you stronger and builds you up to do it again and again. But yeah, this has been Kenshi Blind first playthrough, part 51. So, like I said, if anybody wants to check out the playthrough from the beginning, see my failures, see how I failed time and time again in the beginning, check out that YouTube link, check out my edited videos that take you through my process in the game, knowing absolutely nothing about it. And while you're over there, please consider subscribing to the YouTube. I have more Kenshi videos on the way. I play through independent games over there, demos, all sorts of stuff. I'm on the path to YouTube partner. I need 500 subs. I have 414. Hey, thanks for that follow. Be a farmer, a miner, a trader, a blacksmith, or an armorer, or you can be a bounty hunter, a slaver, a drug smuggler, or mercenary, exactly. Swag Mode, good to have you here. Appreciate you. Everyone in Kenshi is a Saiyan. Going into Kenshi Blind is highly recommended. Yes, and you can catch me for more of that tomorrow, roughly 7 p.m. Eastern. I will be back on Kenshi. You can catch us with more of the Blind First playthrough. Would love to see you there. Let's go ahead and close this out. Tapster, thank you again for the subs and that hype train. I appreciate you. Once again, that is the YouTube link. And if you'd like to keep up with us offline, you can go ahead and use the Discord here. And that'll show you my schedules. We share memes over there. We talk about games and music and all sorts of stuff. Love to have you in the Discord. You suggest all e-girls? I don't know if they'd all agree with e-girls, but they're pretty great people. You should check them out too. Who knows? Maybe we'll raid one of them today. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Willow. As always, we're going to go ahead and close out the YouTube first. YouTube, thank you for being here. Thanks for being a part of it. I hope you've enjoyed the playthrough as much as I have, and I hope to see you again for another one. YouTube, until we catch you again, please take care.